boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, closet swing traders. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. It is good to be back. I do. If I sound a little weird, I got a little bit of a cold, so haven't really been trading too much this week. Like Monday, I didn't trade at all. I was just sleeping for the most part. But which is like weird that the market's open and like I hardly even looked at it. But feeling a little bit better, just sound a little weird, that's all. But yeah, good to be back. Good to be back. Hope you guys are doing well. I know Bill says COVID. It's not COVID only because I didn't take the test. That's the only way to get COVID is by taking the actual COVID test. Which I did not do. But it is 2022, so I will identify as somebody with COVID. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling good. So Greg Gilbert's in the house. We got Zach, my boy Matt. What is happening? By the way, any Slack messages? I know I've got a couple, so I'm gonna try to catch up on some of those. But I know some of you guys reached out to me as well. What's up, Chris, Jay, Albert's in the house. The squad is here. Stephen King is here. Andrew's in the house. Oh my God, we're gonna have a good day. We're gonna have a good day. What a day to be back. We got Tesla earnings last night. If there's a day to come back, it's today. Don't call it a comeback. So we got the SPY pre-market. Let me get my other tab up. DJX, I'm the first. Nice. Hi, Jeremy. Thanks for trading courses. I just started a week ago. DJX is in YouTube. Love it. What is happening? Let me just pull up the other screen for myself for the SPY. This way we get targets. But we're gapping up a little bit from the close, at least. We're not gapping outside of yesterday's range as of yet. But as the SPY starts to continue to move, which it is slowly right now, but we are right at a VPOC from yesterday's high. We will actually share the screen too. Actually, it's a pretty good one. Tony, what's up, Tony? We got Rock in the house. Oof, everyone is coming in. I like it. All right, let's see. Share this one. Cool. So right now, and we just faded a few cents below, but right now it looks like we do have our VPOC from yesterday set at 395.52. So that's going to be the key level to beat. We do have a little bit of a double top into it, which is interesting. Wave count wise, we're probably at this is probably a previous 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'd probably say this is probably a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. And this is probably 1, 2. This is probably wave 3. If this is a wave 4 and that's 5, that's very, very small compared to the wave 1 and 3 that we had. That'd be a very, very tiny, small wave. But this could be the start of maybe wave 4, and we pull back if we don't break out of that VPOC. So we'll have to see, but that's going to be the spot. Otherwise, I still, at least for the moment, want to remain bullish. We are stair-stepping on VPOCs. So they are bringing the markets up a little bit. So I'd still want to be looking at where can I buy as opposed to where can I short. So I'm going to keep that mindset coming in. But I'm also aware that we could get some kind of a wave 4 first. Something like this, maybe dip, and then get to that wave 5. But we will see. But for right now, I still want to at least be a little bit more bullish than bearish. Just go with the trend. It's going to be a lot easier. Trend is your friend until they bend in your end. Did I say that right? So we also had this little bit of a close enough. We had a little bit of a pennant pattern. So we did have the initial break. That was a trap, and we reversed it pretty quickly. So we will see. Airlines, bear gap and go on airlines. Is that all airlines? DAL. Let me just see where we're at on the daily. Yeah, so this would be this was yesterday the time you'd probably be looking more to sell if you're going short. We're at the top of the range on a daily. If this breaks at all, there's nothing but net. We have wide open space to keep this thing running. And Delta, let me just flip it to a daily real quick. But yeah, pre-market does look like, where's this opening? That is definitely a bearish gap. Not a lot of volume came in yesterday. I wish we had a little bit more volume, which we don't. But look for 3167. That's gonna be a key area. If that one breaks, it's probably gonna take us close to about 3123. So either short, probably a little bit higher if we get some initial pop. Maybe we could fade that gap first and then we roll over. We'll see. But on Delta, at least, not great. It was UAL with the earnings. UAL. We've got 3896. That's a really big bearish gap and go on UAL. I kind of like that one. The only thing is obviously this is the 10 EMA is the blue line. So we are pushing right into, we are slightly actually below. If we open right here, we would be below the 10 EMA on an hourly chart. Otherwise, we're pretty much right into it. The other thing we would want to watch out for on UAL is 3824. So it's going to give us about 60, 70 cents of risk, something like that, or 60, 70 cents of reward before we might start pushing into a little bit of some kind of support. But we'll have to see. We are trapping a decent amount of people. And UAL did have a little bit more volume yesterday too. So we are trapping, but I'd probably say that volume might be because of earnings as well. We'll have to see. But you're still sitting with higher volume on this one candle, and that is going to take you to that 3824 as well. So just watch out. It does look bearish, but we are going to have a little bit of resistance that we're pulling into on UAL. So just be careful of that. We'll keep it on the watch list though. We'll keep checking it out. WBA. Kyle says he really likes it. That's a pretty fantastic one. Yeah. It was this one's more fantastic because we are a lot further from that 10 EMA. We are also gapping under 1, 2, 3, 4, and very close to gapping under 5 different VPOCs. So we're trapping just inherently a lot more people on this one. Again, the only thing I'm concerned about, but we are trapping people. It is looking decent. We are at a little bit of some kind of support right here. If that starts breaking down, I mean, 37.44, take partials if you could, and then see if this untested VPOC down here ends up getting tested. So this would be my target. 36.86 would be my target unless this one does want to start breaking down further from here. If you guys are day trading Walgreens. But this trap is a little bit nicer, and we are back below the 10 EMA. The absolute best place to short, if we could get a run, any type of run bullish into 38.29, that would be the best spot. I would throw my stop somewhere maybe up at like 38.90, short right around there, and then you have a lot more room. You're still below that 10 EMA. To me, that would look decent. But let's get to Tesla. Actually, let's do the Qs. Stephen Jackson says, how we playing Tesla? I know I'm getting excited too, and then I was like, wait, hold on, we didn't look at Qs yet. Let's see what the overall market's doing. So the entire market for the Qs is actually gapping up a little bit. We do have some key resistance somewhere sitting at 305.46. So watch that zone. That gives us about $1.06 to the northbound side. That should be some type of resistance. If that breaks, the next stop would be 307.54. But this would be technically a retest gap. So see if we can get some bullishness out of the gate. Probably being patient on the Qs. Tesla might be an individual story, so we'll see just because it's got a catalyst right around it. But 305.52 and that would take us to about 303.22 before we have to worry about maybe a little bit further of a breakdown, but looks decent so far. It is a retest gap. All right, let's do Tesla. Matt says, quick question. Do you know if Matt DeLong is around this morning? You could shoot him a message. I don't know specifically if he's around. I know he's somewhere for sure, but I don't know if he's in this chat or not. Yeah, shoot him a message on Slack or whatever. Just because he also could be training. He's doing a triathlon soon, so he might be training for that in the morning. Not 100% sure. Let's see. So Tesla, fairly nice gap on Tesla. We have a little bit of resistance still coming in at 775.34. I think Tesla at open, the initial candle, we might see something pop one way or the other. I would love it if we could get some kind of a retest, even if we get it down to like 754. But I think they are trying to IV crush this one. I think the earnings price, they were pricing in about $50 each way, and we got nowhere close to $50. So there's going to be a lot of beat up premium at the open on this one. So it might be a little bit wild. A little bit wild in the sense where it might be a little trappy very, very early in the morning. And then I'll actually set an alarm for here. And alerts. This way, if it gets down to that 754 zone, I'll be watching to see if we can get some kind of candle pattern with like something like that. Because I would like to take it higher if it reaches that. And if we start breaking out and somehow get into the 781, which I don't think we do. But if we get into 781, that would be a spot I'd be interested in maybe trying to play some kind of a retest on it. So I'll set 2 alerts for that one. But out of the gate, probably nothing too crazy actually on Tesla, just because they are going to right now. Anybody who took options in calls or put direction is going to get crushed. If Tesla comes back down, wouldn't be surprised to see it bounce off that weekly. Yeah. So their earnings, their earnings weren't horrible. It wasn't great. They did sell all their Bitcoin, so they're out of the biddy. Let me just see. Oof. Wow. Tesla's it's in no man's land right now. I would love to be more bullish than bearish on Tesla. Oof. Ooh. So we do have a little bit of resistance, but I mean, if you look at the volume box, we have massive volume down here, pretty decent volume here, and 0 here. Yeah, if we could catch, I would love to catch this one. If I could catch that retest in some sort of direction to play it bullish, like any type of retest, I want to lean more bullish than bearish. That's going to be the least pass. In a worst case, there's not a lot of resistance, probably up till about 865, 84-ish. And this should be a lot of support down here. So yeah, I'm gonna look for this one to be more bullish than bearish. In a worst case, I'm gonna pick that direction and then try to trade around it. But any type of pullback, I'm gonna look to buy Tesla. We have a little bit of volume coming up here, so we might have some issues somewhere around probably about that 7. Well, first issue is probably gonna be around that first alert, but probably even a little bit higher than that, 790-ish. There's nothing there on a hourly chart. I like it. So I'm gonna lean bullish on Tesla. Would love to see some kind of initial sell-off to some extent, try to get a better price. And obviously a setup 10 EMA preferably, so we go official with it. But there's a lot of room on Tesla with not a lot of additional interest from institutions to hold it back. PLTR got a upgrade to a strong buy. Please don't be by Jim Cramer, though. That's the only thing. If it was from Jim Cramer, it's negated. Let's see. Where's this thing opening? $10.43. All right. Just watch it. We have 10, right around 1058 on PLTR. That's going to be a little bit further resistance, but it is a fairly nice gap. We are gapping above some previous pivots for sure. Right now, since we got finally some decent closes, probably 1018 is going to be a strong support for PLTR. Again, bigger resistance is going to come at 1058 for right now. Once we start really breaking out of the 1089 zone, there's not a lot really holding it till, I guess the next big one is $12. After that would take us back to about $12.79. So there is some room in PLTR. We got a couple more hurdles to pass, but PLTR, that the gap at least is looking relatively decent so far. Let's look at AMD. $91.17 is going to be probably the target. I know there was some traders kind of pegging that 91 zone yesterday. Didn't quite reach it. On Tesla, Jeremy was suggesting to buy a 740 call. Oh, to buy calls at 740. Gotcha. Yeah, buy it. I would love to see Tesla dip. I mean, no matter where you get it, especially if you want to give it more time, it won't matter as much to the exact dollar. But yeah, if we get some kind of a pullback on Tesla, again, it doesn't have to actually break out, keep running, but there's not a lot on Tesla that was holding it back from what I was looking at. So it definitely has some room to run. Risk to reward with all that support below us. I like it in the long direction for Tesla, but we'll have to see spots. If I end up picking up any calls or anything, I'll let you guys know as well. But I do like the plan of, if it reaches a 740 zone, get some calls. I'm definitely on board with it. I like it. So AMD, again, we're going to have a little bit of decent resistance somewhere around 91.19. That's going to take a lot of decent risk reward off the table. Still going to give us about $1.70. So we can still make some money on AMD if we want to go bullish. But we are starting to hit a little bit more resistance on it. And then even as we start to clear, if we get past the 91.50 zone, the next spot will probably be about 92.69. So we do have some room still, but we're just more in that cluster right now, where there was some institutions just kind of pushing this thing around. Probably the rewards is not going to be as good as it was probably the last couple of days, but we will see a relatively decent gap. We've pretty much run up completely with the rest of the market, zero pullbacks. NVIDIA, maybe the same story. Yeah, I mean, NVIDIA has some room to run. I actually kind of like NVIDIA a little bit better than I do AMD today. We probably have room to about 185. So we have about, well, from pre-market, we have about 550-ish to the upside. So we have, again, a little bit more room to run, I think, on NVIDIA than we do on AMD. So I primarily, if the setup is there on AMD, I'll still go bullish on it if possible. But realistically, I think I like NVIDIA a little bit better in a bullish sense. And right now it does look like it qualifies, which is nice too. AMD is very close to qualifying, but not quite there. Doesn't look like it. Let me get to Apple. Andrew says NVIDIA is fun to trade. Yeah, I'm a big fan of especially like on the funded accounts. I primarily focus, like if you look through my history, I think primarily I focus on NVIDIA, Amazon, Tesla, and Bitcoin. And I think that's my entire, just because they got good volume, good ranges. You get comfortable trading something. Why explore outside? You know, if you can make a full living just trading one stock, I mean, imagine what you could do trading 4 things. It's crazy. It's crazy. Apple still has some room to the upside. Nice little gap. Again, this one is going to be a retest gap after a nice little run. So I think we could get some of that pullback at open. We will see. Better pricing to look for is probably somewhere right at the last VPOC, but even before that, it might not even get there. We'll see. 153.48 is decent. I would rather buy 153.27 if they give it to me, but it is a decent looking gap, but it is a retest. So be patient on Apple. It doesn't have like crazy upside right now, and Amazon is starting to look really nice. Again, we have almost a middle finger pattern that absolutely got clobbered. Good support on Amazon. Strong support down there. Created almost a double bottom higher lows. Created another higher low. This one looks like it's taken out. It is still technically a retest gap. Right now, Amazon does qualify. So we are going to get a lot of things that do qualify, which is nice. Just watch out. So we're going to have maybe a little bit of resistance coming in somewhere around 124.21. So that's about 50 cents to the upside for right now. If we could really start to break out of, I would say probably 125.22, we have crazy amount of room on the Zon, especially if we could somehow get past 131, which I don't think happens today, but there's zero volume, zero anything until really 140. Do I think we come back to 116? Yeah. Just keep in mind too, like nothing changed with the economy from 1 week, right? We still have Jerome Powell talking on Wednesday of next week. He's coming in, he's raising rates, all of that stuff. There could be more earnings. I mean, there's definitely more earnings coming out. So we are still one big company away, Apple, Google, something like that, coming in and just throwing out some negative forecast, and everything could be reversed. So while everything feels good in the bullish direction and play the direction, it's the right thing to do. It's the easiest path. Just be very cautious if we're looking, if we're have a longer time frame on things. Like, you still do not have to chase it. We're still in a bear market. I can even see the spot reaching 410, 415, something like that. And even if we reach 410, 415, honestly, that's still just a correction in a bear market, right? So we're still not that impressively strong in the market, but bear markets do have strong runs. So just be careful of that. We could be living on the clouds, and then Jerome Powell comes out and does something crazy and kills the whole market again. Like, it's very possible. So yeah, if you're holding for 116, that would be a fair price. That'd be on top of at least this resistance. So yeah, just if you're dollar cost averaging in, you're building out longer term positions, just wait for the price to come to you. This is in a bear market. Don't get FOMO. For day trade purpose or swing trade purpose, follow the trends. Make sure that that you're not going against the grain. That'll give you some bigger success. All right, which ones did we not look at yet? Was that YOLO or FOMO? They get very confusing sometimes. They get very confusing. I think Boeing, was gapping down a little bit. No, Boeing's still kind of holding. I thought Boeing was gapping down pre-market, and I was gonna just attribute that to the UAL earnings, but Boeing's still kind of holding nicely. Boeing could actually have, watch, you're going to probably get a little bit of resistance coming in somewhere at 160, 130. But after that, there's nothing really till about 174, 71. Even during the COVID rebound, I don't know if Maloney's here, but we were trading Boeing a lot. and we were trading it from like 170 to 180 a lot. It was just range bound. So that's a heavy volume area. So wouldn't be shocked if it just kind of freezes there. Netflix had a really nice run based off of earnings yesterday. Let's see if that one looks to continue today. Pulling back about $1. We do have some decent volume that could act as a little bit of resistance in that zone. So probably most of the run was in yesterday, but I know some people were holding some NVIDIA after the last big dip. I am one of them, so I think that turned profitable yesterday. Let's see. And Disney's close to almost getting a breakout. They attempted it. Was that yesterday? Got very close. If we can start breaking this pivot, probably even a little bit lower, but I'd say this little wick, Disney has a decent shot to 106. What was actually decent yesterday was Airbnb too. Where are they on my list? Airbnb had a really nice 5.5% run yesterday. And there's not a lot blocking these things. We're starting to pull into a little bit of resistance. So about 110.83. And the next bigger spot will be about 114. So these guys have some room to run to, but we will see. So let me get the list sorted out. We've got, we'll throw SPY up here. We got AMD, Amazon, Apple, Delta. Just trying to get the ones that we primarily going to focus on. NVIDIA will scoot up a little bit too. Airbnb I want to check out throughout the day. We want to add UAL. Oh, I guess it's got to be a stock now. We'll get UAL up on the list. Thoughts on SHOP? Valuation, I was looking at that probably about 2 weeks ago, and I think valuations, like actual valuation of companies, still very high, in my honest opinion. But we'll take a look at the actual charts. And by the way, my valuation is usually pretty low because I'm like, especially for the long term. Oh, that's the wrong one. For the long-term purpose of things, it's kind of like real estate. Like the deal is made, like you make your real estate deal on when you buy real estate. You try to get the best pricing because that's going to set you up for everything else. So like some of these things that especially if I'm like, yeah, I don't mind owning them, but it's not like forefront. I really try to wait for the best pricing. Right now we are at a little bit of resistance. If we start to really break this 38.58 zone, we're still going to have a little bit of resistance to about 39.52. And then after that, not a lot until about $43. So it does have some room to the upside. We're obviously running into a little bit of support in this range. We are gapping down a little bit. So for right now, let's take a look. So right now we are stair stepping, still kind of like the rest of the market. We're gapping down. I'd still be looking for opportunities to buy if possible. Oh no, the bell rang, and we got an alert on Tesla. YouTube, I love you guys, but I gotta bid you adieu at this point. You guys are awesome. Thanks for joining us. Keep in mind, we do have free week starting the first week of August. Go to reallifetrading.com. You'll see a little tab at the top that says free week. Just put your name in, and you guys can trade absolutely free with us all week. Be here live for all of the content. I'll catch all you guys later.